Just like it, I am out.
While exploring just south of the fated If you were to ask someone what FEV did to a person, they'd likely tell you that FEV turned you into a lumbering, hulking, stupid brute. A creature with incredible strength, but limited intelligence, able to wield a wide array of weapons, but unable to piece together complex sentences.
You not ghoul, I knew, not fool Harry.
And yet, this isn't always the case. In almost every game, we find super mutants who are the exception. Super mutants who are not only intelligent, but are wise and kind. And yet they were all infected by the same virus. A virus created by the pre-war military that they never got working. How do we explain this? How can the same virus create stupid lumbering brutes and also highly intelligent brutes? Let's go over some of the examples of when FEV actually worked. We are first introduced to FEV in the very first game, Fallout 1. One of the first mutants we meet is the lieutenant inside the Mariposa military base, and he's not stupid.
We are highly intelligent and immune to disease. The strong survive.
He's exceptionally intelligent, and it's from him that we learn some important fundamental attributes of FEV that help us better understand how it works.
Before the war, the human scientists made a drug called FEV. It was designed to make the perfect human. The FEV was mutated by the war radiation. Those living in this desolate wasteland have been exposed to this mutant FEV, essentially inoculating them from the full effects. You're a prime normal. Soon you'll be one of us. Now you know why we need your vault.
The reason the Master and the Lieutenant were looking for prime normals, that is, human beings who haven't been exposed to post-war radiation, is because West Tech's FEV escaped the facilities where they were created and entered the atmosphere, spreading across the globe. This aerosolized FEV was changed by the post-war radiation, which means that anyone who existed above ground after the Great War was exposed to a small amount of this FEV that had been changed by radiation and had become inoculated to its effects. The Master is looking for people who have never been above ground because only they, if exposed to FEV, can be turned into intelligent super mutants. But we know that there's a bit more going on here, because West Tech, who made FEV, never got it working, and this was before the bombs dropped. There was no widespread radiation that existed all over the globe when military scientists were working on FEV at the Mariposa military base. There was no global radiation problem when the scientists at West Tech were working on FEV in Appalachia, and yet they all failed as well. None of them were able to create intelligent super soldiers, which was their original goal. So if the problem with FEV is really that everybody has already been inoculated to it due to their post-war exposure to FEV in the atmosphere, why couldn't the people before the war get it to work? Let's dig a little deeper. The Master is also a mutant. The Master used to be a human called Richard Grey. He was expelled from Vault 8 because he murdered someone. After discovering strange mutants attacking caravans and towns, he and Harold and a few others teamed up to try and find the source of these mutants. This search led them to the Mariposa military base, where everyone got exposed to FEV, and everyone died except for Harold, who mutated in a very strange way, and Richard Grey. As we learn from Richard Grey's diary, his exposure to FEV didn't make him stupid. If anything, he became more intelligent. And FEV unlocked a number of very unique powers in Richard Grey. He was able to merge his consciousness with machines and other people, absorbing them into himself, which is why when we meet him beneath the cathedral, he speaks in so many voices.
So what shall it be? Do you join the Unity, or do you die here?
Join.
Die!
Join.
Die!
But most interestingly, Richard Grey, now the Master, developed psychic powers. And I don't think these powers were native to Richard Grey. I think they came from FEV. Or if they were native to him, they were greatly amplified by FEV. While exploring the labs beneath the cathedral, we learned that some scientists are injecting FEV into the pineal glands of patients, and doing so grants them psychic powers, turning them into psychers. The Master's psychic powers are so potent that he can cause people to explode if they get too close. We see this happen firsthand if we release the prisoners that he has imprisoned behind force fields. They explode in a gory mess. The psychers who had FEV injected into their pineal glands use devices called psychic nullifiers to not only amplify their psychic abilities, but protect themselves from the psychic abilities of other mutants, including the Master. If we try to approach the Master without wearing a psychic nullifier, we begin to take damage. Only by wearing the nullifier can we get to him unscathed. The thing is, these aren't the only guys with psychic powers whom we've met in the Fallout universe. In Fallout New Vegas, we find a small child at Trading Post 188 who calls himself the Forecaster.
I don't sell things, ma'am. I sell thoughts. This thing on my head is headache medicine. It works real good, except I can't think when it's on. Really think, I mean. I can take off my medicine and do some thinking.
By talking with him, we can get a prediction. But strangely enough, the predictions he gives us are pretty accurate.
Okay. Let me take off my medicine. Your face does the thinking. 2 to the skull, yet 1 gets up.
And he also wears a strange device on his head. It almost looks like a psychic nullifier. Mama Murphy in Fallout 4 also considers herself to be a bit of an oracle. She too can give us predictions. And strangely enough, many of them are accurate.
You're on the trail of the man who took your boy. I see a house locked up tight, chains put on by a smiling shark.
But how could these guys be psychers? They were never injected with FEV into their pineal glands, but they have been exposed to the aerosolized FEV that permeated the globe after the bombs dropped in 2077. That's really the key point here. There's a lot about FEV that we just don't know. There's a lot about FEV that the scientists who developed it didn't know. There's a lot about FEV that the Master didn't understand either. But one consistent characteristic of FEV is that it alters the mind, oftentimes making you stupid, sometimes making you smart, and sometimes altering your brain to give you psychic abilities. Who's to say some people above ground couldn't have obtained psychic abilities simply by being exposed to the trace amounts of FEV in the atmosphere? We learn from Richard Grey's diary that the Master himself tinkered with FEV, trying to perfect it to his vision. He wanted to create an FEV that would allow him to turn everyone into super mutants, to end all wars, and create order.
As long as there are differences, we will tear ourselves apart fighting each other. We need one race.
Race.
One goal.
Goal.
One people.
But even at this point, with the Master actively using FEV to build his army, the Lieutenant concedes that it's not perfect. Even prime normals who are dipped suffer from memory loss.
Sometimes, not always, a person's memory is, how shall we say, interrupted by dipping. So there is a small chance you'll forget the location.
Some of the mutants in the Master's army are stupid.
Oh, okay. Have nice day.
But many others in the Master's army are moderately intelligent. We don't find a whole lot that are as super intelligent as the Lieutenant, but we do find plenty of examples in Fallout 2 and New Vegas of mutants who have average human intelligence. They speak coherently and they can reason normally. But I think the evidence shows us that this is primarily due to the lasting effects of the Master's psychic influence over them. The Master's psychic abilities give order and meaning to his super mutant army. When the Master died and his psychic connection with his super mutant army was severed, this was a traumatic experience for all super mutants. This is explored in Fallout 2 and Fallout New Vegas. In Fallout 2, we meet Marcus at Broken Hills. He's an intelligent super mutant who's trying to create a home for other intelligent super mutants who feel lost after the destruction of the Master.
After the Master and the Vats were destroyed, I wandered a bit. No place to go. One day got attacked by this fool wearing power armor. That was Jacob, from the Brotherhood of Steel. We tussled for a while, and we became friends. Headed off together. Then, other people started following us. Guess they figured if they weren't safe with a mutie and a steel knight, safe just wasn't going to happen. Now, anybody's welcome here, long as they act right. Others might not think much of us, but nobody's more free than we are.
We don't know who Marcus was before he was dipped. I don't even think Marcus knows who he was before he was dipped. But it's likely he was a vault dweller, or a pre-war scientist, or someone who had never been exposed to post-war radiation due to the intelligence that he exhibits and the sanity he maintains after his psychic link with the Master had been severed. That wasn't the case for so many other super mutants. In Fallout New Vegas, we were introduced to the Nightkin, who are super mutants who were a part of an elite group of the Master's super mutant army, and he entrusted them with greater technology, including stealth boys. But over time, Nightkin who used stealth boys began to exhibit symptoms of mental instability.
Nightkin suffers schizophrenia from the stealth boys they're always using. One of the reasons I settled Jacobstown was so they could be cured.
Jimmy! Little Jimmy! My, how you're grown up! So good of you to come visit your grandma. The stealth boys we use have cumulative adverse effects on our minds. Jacobstown was supposed to be a sanctuary, a place to find a cure.
What if I told you that deep in the Tafjord Mountains lie a secret cabin? It's a cabin that you're not supposed to find. A cabin that might just be the most important in history, with an insane backstory. Without it, the world would look very different. But to get there was not going to be easy. With zero cell phone connection to the outside world, I would have to get through 15 kilometers of extreme mountain terrain during the coldest part of the harsh Norwegian winter.
No, I am questioning if this is the right way. That's steep.
This might just be my most extreme survival challenge yet.
So you probably know that this is my weakness. And by that, I mean my legs.
So instead of guessing how to work out, I've been using Macro Factor. So it's minus 21 degrees and it should feel like minus 26 degrees. It looks like it's gonna be pretty cold. So this is Tafjord, and this place was actually wiped out less than 100 years ago by a huge tsunami. Dozens of people dead. It was a big tragedy. And it was caused by a big block that fell from one of these steep mountains into the fjord and then created a huge wave. And up in these mountains somewhere, there's supposed to be a cabin, but I don't know exactly where. It's gonna be extremely cold. Temperatures down to minus 30. My biggest concern is not being able to bring any water because it would freeze in my backpack in like less than 15 minutes. And another problem is that there's very little daylight in Norway at this time of year. So I have very limited time to get to the cabin. I'm going to talk more about the cabin later though. and the history and why, if it wasn't for that cabin, the world would not look like it looks today. I can see the trail now, and I don't think anyone has been here. Like, it's completely snowed down. Like, there's no tracks or anything from anyone else. So navigating up here is going to be difficult. Luckily, I have a map, kind of like a rough map of where the cabin should be. So right here is running water, and I don't know when I'm gonna see running water next time, so I'm gonna make sure to drink a little bit, or actually as much as possible right here. Oh my God, that tastes so good. By the way, this is the map that I'm following. It's about 15 kilometers, and there's no cell phone reception up here. Even on the drive up, there was 0 cell phone reception. But I do have my cell phone, just in case, because maybe I'll get reception up there. This is one of the coldest days of the year. It can get really cold here. It can get to like -35, and this is gonna be pretty close to it, I think. I've never camped outside in weather like this, so I have no idea how it's gonna feel. You can see the fog is starting to move in. It came from up there, now it's also down here. Says danger, there could be rockfall here. I guess they mean up here. There's also probably a lot of gaps here, so I should be a little bit careful so I don't go through the snow and fall. This would have been terrible without skis though. I would have gone, you see that? There's holes like that where your foot can go through and you can injure your foot. I don't think it's prone to avalanches right now because it's so cold, but this could have been a spot. I don't know if you see how steep that is, but it's almost like a 45-degree. Definitely don't want to end up in that water down there. That looks freezing cold. Pretty nice view. A little bit worried about the fog though. It looks completely foggy up there. The weather changes so quickly out here. Oh. Something specific like I'm doing now, or just to even out your weaknesses, check out macro factor workouts. And if the weather changes so quickly out here. Oh. I don't know what these are. Like, they look like tracks, like big tracks. Hopefully it's not a bear that sleeps under here. Maybe like a reindeer or something.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence, the bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free from Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine and under branch, and into the forest deep. Feeling strange eyes upon her, the girl recalled Mother's scary bedtime tales, and her throat became bone dry. Then the Bat Lord appeared. He greeted her warmly and bit his own wing. "Come, child, quench your thirst," he said. So she drank the thick, dark blood and smiled with joy. Passing through the graveyard, menacing storm clouds loomed, and the air turned bitingly cold. The girl was shivering in her thin clothes. Then a dark weaver appeared. and with a click of his fingers crafted mist into a beautiful dress. Come, child, warm yourself, he coaxed. So she clothed herself and smiled with joy. Across waters deep and ominous she went, hoping a boat she found would carry her home. But hunger's grip tightened and her heart grew heavy. Then the Fish King appeared and offered one of his many fins. Come, child, eat your fill. So the girl ate and smiled with joy once more. Continuing on, she soon entered the forest's dark heart. Then an iron steed appeared, bearing a beautiful golden gear. The creature said nothing as the girl approached and snatched what she thought was another gift. The horse grew angry and summoned the other monsters. Terror filled the girl's heart as the wild wind rose around the beasts. Suddenly, a witch appeared, dark yet regal.
That seems pretty risky.
Gifts we gave, but more you took, she snarled.
I don't know what
So
other
more in
options I
turn
have.
is due.
The thing is, if I just go
In a
down to the
blink,
lake,
the girl was
it's frozen,
trapped
and then if
inside
I
a
walk
mirror.
on the outskirt of it, so I don't cross it, but I like
There,
just walk on it barely.
she's asleep.
I think I'll be
What
alright.
is with the creepy story? She's only
So this
6
right
months
here
old.
Is the
Woman
lake?
at the store said it was traditional.
Let's
A
hope.
local tale. Besides, Rose doesn't
Okay,
seem
so
to mind.
Because she
course
doesn't
it's
understand
tempting
it.
to just move
Thank
right
God.
across, but
We moved
I'm
here
gonna
so that
walk
she wouldn't
here
have
in
to
the
deal with any of that, remember?
There's nothing wrong with my
outskirt
memory.
of the lake.
You're just being paranoid.
It's not.
I don't know. According to my map,
Never mind.
there's
I'm
supposed to be
sorry.
a trail up there.
But I'm not paranoid. I'm just cautious.
Then, go cautiously take your daughter to bed.
Wow. Look at all those cliffs up there.
I'll finish dinner.
Rockfall would be pretty dangerous right here. Jesus Christ. That's steep.
It's okay, Rose.
Holy shit.
Your mother doesn't want to remember it. I can't blame her.
No, I am questioning if this is the right way.
Did you say something?
Nothing. I'll put her down.
It's like almost vertical. Like a fucking wall. If it wasn't for these trees, it would have been impossible to climb this.
There, there. It's like I said to your mom. That book's too scary for you.
Slipped. Look how far down I go in the snow. Oh, this is so much harder than I thought it would be.
Almost there, honey.
I can't wait to get out of this.
There you go, sweetheart. Don't you worry. I'll be right downstairs. Daddy won't let those weird fairy tale monsters get you.
Look at that. That is, if that was a hill without any trees, I bet that could be like an avalanche. Could trigger an avalanche. Okay, I think I'm out of it. Oh, but look at this. Look how steep that is. It's getting dark now. I think I'm gonna set up a camper right here. There's
I
like
wish
a
it could
little
stay like this
shelter.
forever.
If you see this, I have like some walls that I can cover from wind and stuff. So the cabin I'm looking for, it was where some Norwegian soldiers were hiding during the Second World War to carry out sabotage missions on the Germans because they occupied Norway. And eventually they blew up
the heavy water. It's a hydroelectric plant. Heavy water is a byproduct of making fertilizer, and you need heavy water to make an atomic bomb. And that changed the course of like history, because they prevented basically the Germans from making a nuclear bomb before the Americans. The cabin that I'm looking for is one of those cabins where they would hide out. So they would spend weeks. And there's rumors of that cabin being somewhere up here, and that's what I want to find. Yeah, it would be nice if I can just
Rose is
get
fine.
away some of the snow so that it's easier to, because I need to walk out here, take a piss probably over there, and then get fresh snow from over
It's
there.
not paranoia
It's
if they're really
important
out to
that I
get you.
remember where I piss and where I get fresh snow from. So today, these two are on the menu. Mushed potatoes with meat and some noodles. The bad news is that I looked at the map and it looks like I only did 4 kilometers today. So tomorrow I need to do 11. And for that to happen, I have to start really early. Okay, let's hope this works. There we go. So the trick is to go a little bit easy in the beginning because you don't want to burn the snow. It's important that I don't burn the tent down. That's not gonna be nice. And it is snowing outside now. But yeah, so the story about the cabin, the first group of Norwegians, 4 guys, they jumped out of a plane, built the cabin, and they spent a year there. The plan was that a British group of, I think it was 40, would come and
Gotta
join
do a
them,
deep clean
and
before
they would
Rose starts
show
walking
them
around.
where they produced heavy water. But unfortunately, the planes with the Brits, both of them crashed. There were a few survivors, but they were all executed. So then they decided instead that they would send in another group of Norwegians. They called it Gunnerside. I think that's what the mission was called. And they dropped off the 4 Norwegians. They joined the other Norwegians.
Everyone's
who
forgotten about
spent,
this already.
Already a few months here, waiting for the Brits. They were starving because they didn't have any more rations. They were actually living off of moss. So they would boil up moss and try to eat it. But they spent months in that cabin that I want to find. It's obviously very hidden because they had to hide. If they were found, they would be unalived instantly. I don't know, I just find it really fascinating. So yeah, I gotta find that cabin tomorrow. Otherwise I'm gonna be so disappointed. And that's also why I think if they spent months or even a year out here, I should be able to survive at least a night. And I have way more fancy gear than they had probably. Okay, bye-bye camp. Drink some snow. So, I'm still not going super fast. There's been a lot of uphill.
Keep it down.
Just making sure it's
I
locked.
had time to stop at all because if I want to make it
She's going to grow
before it gets
beautiful.
dark, I need to keep going. It's really blowing now, so it's a little bit rough. That looks very steep. And my first little avalanche slide right here. That was, I knew it wasn't going to be a big one because
She's
it would
asleep.
stop here, but still, like, it shows you that, like, it can be really dangerous. And of course, it was pretty scary. Look at all that snow. I don't know if you see it.
Mom got you another new
Okay,
book?
so I'm a little bit too high. I need to go down there. I'm a little bit afraid of this. Because if
Oh,
that
Mia. What?
slides, then
It's,
3 years
looks
ago.
like there's a cliff down
could-
there, so I'm gonna be a little bit careful. Could be a slide under here.
Couldn't even imagine something like this would happen.
See the cracks here? That's the layer. The layer of snow is starting to crack, and that could easily like slide down, but I think I'm safe now. I'm going that way. If it's like this the whole
Is she
way,
okay?
I'm
Sleeping
not gonna make
like,
it in time for sure.
like a baby. That smells good. What's that?
Oh, hands off, mister. It's Churba de Lagoon.
It's pretty
It's a
gnarly.
local recipe.
Wow, you've gone full native, haven't you?
Local wine, too. But if you're gonna keep sulking all evening, maybe you shouldn't have any. You really have to stop worrying.
It's just finding you in Louisiana, the pregnancy, Chris moving us here, military training, it all happened so fast, you know?
Well, at least we're all together. You, me, Rose. Now, everything's gonna
Seriously? Think we can just forget about what happened in Louisiana?
be... It happened so long ago. I don't understand why you are so...
Thing, it's just not worth risking. This has already been
Mia,
pretty extreme.
get down!
So I'm gonna turn around.
Mia! Mia, oh God!
Turning back is always the hardest decision to make. Getting so close.
Chris? What the hell?
Sorry.
No! What? Why?
Realized that it looked like there was another route to the cabin. Although the route was 24 kilometers each way, so a lot longer, the terrain looked slightly more doable. I had an internal debate for a while if it was worth giving it another attempt. For all I knew, this route was just as difficult and dangerous as the last one. But after a week of rest, I decided I had to give it another
All clear. Rose? What the hell you doing with my daughter?
Package secure,
With
sir.
a lighter backpack, less
Take him away.
equipment,
I said get your hands off her!
Ethan, no.
Rose.
Get him out.
So beautiful. Take the cabin. Just up there. I mean, the whole point of the cabin is not to be seen from above. It's to be hidden. So I expect it to be pretty hard to find. But according to my map, it should be up there somewhere.
Hey, Doc.
Wow, this is exciting. I think that's it right there.
No
And it's
problem.
gray, so it
We'll be
blends
there.
in with a rock.
That was the doc.
Yeah, no, I can see
She'll
it.
see us next week.
Oh my god.
Hey, now.
You have
Think
no
positively,
idea
all right?
how happy I am to see
We
this
talked about
cabin.
this.
I know. We hardly talk about anything else. I keep telling you, it's not Rose that I'm worried about.
Well, then what are you worried about?
You have no
Look,
idea.
she's gonna be fine. I just know it. What else matters?
We matter, Ethan! You matter! You just...
Mia, what are you talking about? Is there something you're not telling me? Come on, talk to me. Oh, damn it. I have to take this.
Oh my god, this is great. Look at all that equipment. There's just like so much cool stuff in here. I think that's Joachim Renneberg. He's the guy who was in charge of the operation on the gunner side. And the thing is, they were flown in, so they jumped out of the plane, landed in this area, and then they built
Jesus.
this cabin. The reason it's so close to the rock thing is because they wanted to remove them from airplanes flying over this territory. They were spotted instantly on the live.
What are you talking about? Where's Chris Redfield? And Rose?
Sleeping in this cabin. At any time, they could be spotted.
Fuck.
This is the radio they used.
What the hell
communicate
happened
with
here?
Brits. From here, they would carry out a lot of sabotage missions. Like they blew up a bridge, they blew up telecom, so all the antennas they used to communicate with each other, they blew up that. Okay. And now I can write in the book. So everyone who's been here writes in this book a little story or something. My handwriting is not going to be the best when it's this cold. So I said it was not easy getting here in the middle of the winter, but I'm very thankful I did. I'm thankful that I got to experience this cabin this time of year. I'm also very thankful for the men who spent a year in this cabin and who are the reason, or part of the reason, why Norway is a free country today. I almost got a little bit emotional there. So after this, I pretty much just followed my tracks back through the snow, and with most of it being downhill, it was quite a nice ride back to civilization. And you might be wondering what happened to the 9 young Norwegian soldiers after they carried out the sabotage and destroyed the heavy water production. In later interviews, many of them explained that they never expected to survive the mission, and that they were fully prepared to give their lives if that was the cost. After the explosion, it took a few hours before the Germans realized exactly what had happened, and that delay gave them a critical head start. The 9 Norwegians split up. Some skied across the mountains to neutral Sweden, while others remained hidden in Norway. Once the Germans understood the scale of the sabotage, they launched a massive manhunt, deploying 3,000 soldiers to hunt them down. But against all odds, every single one of them made it out alive. And about a year later, 3 of the Norwegian soldiers returned to the Fieldfare cabin and carried out even more missions. So for a moment in history, places like this quietly mattered more than anyone could have known. If it wasn't for these 9 young men, history might have taken a very different path. As you can probably tell, I really love making videos like these, and if you guys like them as well, please leave a comment for what I should do next time.
What did all this? Where the hell am I? Maybe they're out? What happened? Did they just run out of the house?
No! Friendly! Friendly!
Who are you? Who sent you?
Nobody. There was an accident down the road and... What's going on?
Oh, no. They're coming.
Who is? What the hell was that?
You have a gun?
What?
Please tell me you have a gun.
No, why would I?
Take it! Take it!
Help me, it's out there. Hey, are you listening? Hey! What the... Dead body? Wait, there's more. Jesus Christ. What the hell is wrong with this place? Shit! What the fuck was that? No. What the hell? Is it over?
There's no end to them. Shit! Wait, wait.
Yeah, in Resident Evil Village, the game does have autosave points, especially key moments and after certain events or when you enter specific areas. In the beginning, you'll definitely notice it autosaving as you progress to the tutorial and the first few areas, but it's always good to keep an eye on the save icons just to be sure.